Hello, guys and girls, and welcome to the defense of the Australians for the summer. And I am here today with Daredevil Dan. How are you doing, Daredevil Dan from Daredevil Dota?
I'm doing pretty well, man. First game I'm casting today, I had a bit of trouble with my observer. His power is gone, so I'll just be tagging along with everyone. Um, so yeah, I'm excited. I saw the three Spartans game. They played against MTS Esports, which is most probably the best team in this group. So obviously they didn't do too well. And it was pretty one-sided, so hopefully they can do a bit better in this game, and maybe that was just a warm-up.
Awesome. Yeah, they were doing quite well. I saw MTS Esports. 300 Spartans were doing very well in the first game that they played against Come On Sun, but unfortunately lost it in a 56-minute battle. Did you end up seeing that one?
No, was that before it?
Yeah, that was the game before. Might have put their spirits down a little bit. Hopefully it didn't. Let's see how they can pick it up in this game.
Yeah, and picking up a coddle first, which is definitely out of the ordinary. A lot of the times you get to see pretty interesting stuff in the group stages, a lot of different picks, and a lot of the teams play to their strengths rather than to the pool's strengths.
Hmm. Yeah, I think it's interesting. Keeper of the Light first pick. Normally you want to go for a first pick, something that would normally be a second ban, and I'm calling out the Dark Seers, the Alchemists that we haven't seen banned yet. These are the sort of first picks that people go for. But similarly on Furious Dota, we see Tusk and Centaur Warrunner, not common first picks either.
Yeah, we've seen Tusker in a little bit of competitive play. Centaur does actually combo really well with Tusker in a lane, other than the fact that you've got a dual melee. Um, but you can snowball into the stomp, to the
Hmm.
double edge, and to the ice shards. You can dish out a lot of damage with these two,
Hmm.
and they're very hard to kill.
Yeah.
It's more of a pub strat, obviously, but in group stages, because no one actually drops out in these group stages, you can have a lot more fun.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's just seeding top four of the group go to upper bracket, bottom four go to lower bracket. So, I mean, you still want to play your best and get into that upper bracket, but you can definitely have a bit more fun with it rather than a single elimination tournament.
Yeah, it was March of Massic versus MKD3 that I first saw this strategy, Tusk with Centaur Warrunner and a Pudge mid. And I just thought, oh, what are they doing? What are they trying? And when I saw the initiations by Tusk and Centaur Warrunner, I suddenly understood why that combo was so strong. Similarly, we see another strong individual hero coming out from 300 Spartans as a Bat Rider. Have you seen much Bat Rider in Australian competitive play?
Honestly, not recently because of the nerf to the ultimate. The range nerf hurts so much on that hero. You've basically got to be melee range to catch them now.
Hmm.
If you don't play very greedy with a Bat Rider on your lineup, putting him in the jungle instead of mid and putting another mid in, you just don't feel like you have the blink early enough, and he just sort of causes a bit of dead weight. Generally, you just pick him up as a counter to BKB, whereas as he can catch them still. But that's really about it. He's also very good against Naix, but so we
Hmm.
haven't really seen him much. Still a really strong hero,
Hmm.
and I do think he's a bit underutilized recently.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
hopefully we'll be able to see something interesting out of that.
Yeah, I'm looking at these bands, which are also very interesting. I've seen a couple of Pugna bands recently. Venomancer bands, I've seen a lot of, but that's sort of understandable. I'm not quite too sure why a counter to the Pugna bands, neither Keeper of the Light nor Batrider, nor any of the other heroes that I imagine 300 Spartans are going to be picking are heavy Bloodstone style heroes, or those types of heroes that cast a lot of spells.
Yeah, it very much could be. And just taking a look over the bands, we've got the Visage and the Doom band for 300 Spartans, along with the Invoker and Witch Doctor. So banning out most likely what looks like heroes they don't want to play against. Obviously, Doom
Yeah.
is a big pain against Batrider because you just turn into a range creep. You can't do anything at all.
Hmm.
And Vengeful picked up for Furious Dota, so another stun. The extra damage and the minus armor is going to help this team a lot. Swap is very useful into Tuskar as well, because
Oh yes, yeah.
obviously you can swap them into a Snowball or just into their range, especially with Centaur. You've got uh, the fast movements from Stampede, and you can get the range in closer for the VS. and just start the fights a lot easier.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm also wondering what they're going to try and combo with this Tusk, because you've already mentioned Vengeful Spirit, a brilliant combo, and what 300 Spartans are going to do to try and counter that combo, not necessarily in their bans, but what sort of heroes are they going to pick to try and avoid getting that combo stun? Well, Lifesteal is one of them.
Something like a Life Stealer. Obviously, the Rage is basically going to stop everything
hmm
on this Furious Dota team. Like, everything. They basically can't touch him in Rage. Batrider, you can jump into him when he has the Blink Up and have the long range Nax bombs, along with Silencer as well. Furious Dota relies heavily on the spells. They don't really have any physical damage other than a Tuskar when he gets items up, but all their early game is high magic damage, and you chuck a global silence in there, or even just obviously his last word, and they all of a sudden become completely useless.
I can't help but think though that Batrider is relatively not tanky, is relatively squishy. Keeper of the Light, Silencer, also relatively squishy heroes compared to some of the other tanky supports such as Earthshaker, such as Elder Titan. And that Global Silence coming off after the Tusk Warrunner combo has gone off is basically pointless, because once they've done the Snowball and the Ice Shards on the Stomp, then it's just right click. If you don't have enough damage to right click them down, both Tusk and Centaur Warrior aren't very strong on their right clicks.
Yeah, exactly. Tuskar, without his ulti and without items, he doesn't do a whole lot. But it's basically going to rely a lot on the Silencer being really on point with his silences, and them choosing the fights rather than playing reactionary Dota. They need to be really, really aggressive against this Furious Dota team, and not let them get these big combos off as they can, you know. Earthshaker, if he gets up a blink, Centaur, even if he gets up a blink or even just a Force Staff to help out the rest of the team, the swaps, the snowballs, they've got a lot of problems. And the initiation range is pretty nice on Furious Dota with items.
Yes.
Without items, it's, you know, a snowball at max speed with Stampede, so you can definitely clear some distance with that.
Yeah, I also think this Centaur Warrunner, in the position that he's playing, you can have Tusk as a sort of semi-carry, and you can have Centaur Warrunner build into his cloak, and then build into a Pipe of Insight, which would go absolutely brilliantly against this 300 Spartans. Keeper of the Light's damage would be pretty much nullified. Batrider, especially with a Pipe, silences right-click damage with his glaives. It'd deal a lot less damage under the effect of that Pipe of Insight.
Yeah, Pipe would work out quite well for them on 300 Spartans. I mean, you've got the Rage on the Lifestealer. You can pick up a BKB on the Batrider as well. So I don't think they will really need one unless Keeper of the Light just has a lot of spare gold.
Which I can't really see happening.
Yeah, considering the greediness of their lineup, Silencer is almost dead weight without farm. He really does need farm. I think playing him as a support doesn't really fit the hero that well. Other than, yeah, he's got really good spell set, but he can dish out so much damage with the Glaives of Wisdom, with a few kills on him, get a Hex, get a Rod of Atos, things like that up on the Silencer, and he can dish out a lot of the damage. But Furious Dota going for the Nature's Prophet now, so they're looking basically to fight with 4 and split push with Nature's Prophet. That's all I can really see from their team.
And I can't help but think that Furious don't have a designated hard carry, nor do they have a designated mid. Are we going to see maybe a Vengeful or Earthshaker mid? Are we going to see a Warrunner hard carry?
Tuskar is the only real hero on their team that suits the mid. Generally, none of their other heroes would be there. Nature's Prophet's sometimes seen, Vengeful Prophet sometimes. Against a Batrider, who doesn't have the longest range, it might be okay to send the Vengeful, but any melee hero is just going to fail horribly against a sticky napalm. Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking. And the Fury and the Nature's Prophet is the only one that's actually a strong offlane hero. Except for maybe Warrunner. You could have, however, dual lanes, Warrunner, Tusk in the off lane, maybe a Vengeful Spirit mid, maybe a Nature's Prophet mid, and have the two supports, the Vengeful and the Earthshaker, with a huge amount of stun, being able to also get kills against these dual lanes, which I'd love to see because it would really impact, it would really change around the meta, and it would look like really beautiful Dota.
Yeah, they could run the dual lanes, but then you're farming a Vengeful Spirit. You know, you probably send the VS with the ES, and then Tusk with Centaur,
Hmm.
and then a Fury in mid. That's the only way I could really see the duels working out.
True. Yeah.
Which, as you said, is a lot of disable on each lane, but um, they're kind of wasting farm on Vengeful. Vengeful carry has not been a thing since early Dota 1.
Hmm.
Like, it's just not good.
Hmm.
So it'll be interesting to see, but they're sending the Clockwork mid on THS. And the Keeper of the Light offlane, which has been a while since I've seen that as well. So it could work out for them fine if they send a Tuskar mid, but it looks like the VS is going to go that way.
So is this looking like a Bat Rider dual lane, or is it just Bat Rider off lane? Bat Rider. Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, they're thinking about it. I think they're going to do dual lanes in here. The laning is, I mean, it was quite obvious from THS what they were going to do, so they've just changed it up completely.
Yeah.
I mean, in my mind, it was going to be a greedy laning. You put the Silencer mid, Bat Rider jungle, Clock offlane, and an AX Coddle dual lane safe. But they're going to send the Silencer to the safe lane farm and have these dual lanes. So Naix isn't really going to get all the farm he wants. But I mean, he's against a solo Furion, so it's likely that we'll just see this Bat Rider leave and go to the jungle. There's no reason for him to be in the lane at all. Naix has just as good a chance as killing Nature's Prophet solo as he does with the Bat Rider.
Yeah, let's. I'm just going to quickly go through this Furious team. We've got Primitive Willow playing on the Vengeful Spirit in the mid here. We've got, looks like it's a tri-lane. I'm going to look forward to this tri-lane with Windy Dinosaur playing the Earthshaker. Wow, there's been a bit of a pause. Wang Wang playing the Tusk alongside 50 Shades of Plays, the Centaur Warrunner there. That is a beautiful set for Warrunner, by the way. Love that set. Love the look of that. And we've got a solo safe lane Adobe.
Yep, and over on THS we've got Pixis playing the Bat Rider, Adam on the the Naix. Hivaga is playing that Clockwork mid, and over on the top lane we have AZ playing the Silencer and Panko on the Keeper of the Light.
So it's this Keeper of the Light Silencer dual lane. I'll tell you what, it's really going to fall to a couple of snowballs and a couple of blocks off with that Fissure by Earthshaker. I can see a lot of kills happening here in this lane. Meanwhile, Nake's Bat Rider lane getting kills on Nature's Prophet, not as likely. Possible, definitely possible, but just not as likely.
All they really need is a couple sticky napalms and then an early Firefly to cut down the sprout trees, or even just Naix get up a Quelling Blade early to cut them down. And as soon as Nature's Prophet's out of position, he's dead. He's so easy to kill. He's only got 3 armor and 550 health, and Naix will just eat through that.
Yeah, I'm just assuming that this Nature's Prophet is going to play very defensively, and you see he's already started up. He's already started up well behind the creep wave. He can only see Nake, so he doesn't even want to go up to last hit. So he's a little bit worried about going up to last hit. He knows that the Bat Rider could be in the trees. Probably wouldn't make a move at level 1, but he doesn't know where the Bat Rider is. And you see that Nake's is just... Oh, up top. Sorry about that. Already a first blood. Gosh.
Yeah, they blocked him off with the ES Fissure, and then it was just a snowball, and he was dead. It's just so easy to kill this lane. I really do think the Nax would have thrived a lot better up here. He probably wouldn't have gotten much, but he wouldn't have died because of Rage. He can just avoid the deaths. And Keeper of the Light's basically the only way they can survive this with Illuminate spam. That's all they can do on this lane. They've drafted it into a position where there's just so much disable on one lane that it's almost impossible to survive. And off they go again. Ice Shards into the ball. The stun does miss, and the Illuminate comes through just to ward them off. They're going to try and actually go on Windy Dinosaur. No one's got any mana on this lane, which is definitely going to hurt them. But Silencer, he doesn't have another Curse of the Silencer. Unable to get a return kill. And I mean, that's what this lane is like. One miss stun and you get nothing, and you're all out of mana.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sort of starting to agree with this idea of Lifestealer in this top lane with his team. However, having said that, if you look at the late game potential, THS have Silencer, they have Nakes, They have Clockwork, very good at making support pickoffs even in the very late game once he gets Aggers. Meanwhile, on Furious, you've got potentially a Vengeful if she gets farm, potentially a Nature's Prophet if he gets farm, and Tusk if he gets farm in terms of late game right click. It looks like THS can really stall this much better than PhD can.
Yeah, THS have a very strong mid game with an AX and Silencer and Batrider. The Silence obviously very helpful against PhD, but that's where they sort of halt. Tusker, if he gets the farm, he's a stronger late game hero than an AX, just because of the punch. You can get someone down to half health and just kill them with a 400 crit, 400% crit. Well, yeah, it's a 400% damage multiplier, which works like a crit. So you can't stack it on other things. Like if you cast a Shadow Blade and then use it, it does the 150 and then does your crit. So he definitely has the potential to do the damage, but no one's really getting farm on this tri lane. Like you've got a Clockwork on 15 and an AX on 15 CS for THS, but no one else in the game really has much other than Vengeful on 9, 10 now. So you've got to think, if they want some sort of late game, they've either got to keep crushing this lane and get kills after kills after kills, or somebody's got to start farming.
The thing is that I could definitely see them crushing this lane, and there's already been an Ice Shards, but it looks like Tusk might go down. No, he just walks away. There's been a TP as well in from Adobe that does get a couple of right clicks onto that Silencer, and that's enough to get a kill. Now you see everybody's on half health here, but they're also 2-0.
Yeah, no Illuminate to come out yet for another 50 mana, so the Chakra's got to be cast again, which is on cooldown. And I mean, they almost did clean up that Tusker with the Silencer skills along with the Illuminate, so they do have a decent amount of damage. And Adobe's just going to sit up here now, sitting at level 5, because obviously he came up for that kill and he's the solo lane. He is maxing the teleport as well, so he looks to be more active on the map, and Silence is actually going to go on him here. Adobe, not really paying too much attention, is going to TP out. The damage is just not going to kill him. And he TP bottom, but he does have a salve, so that's fine.
That AFK farm. Best way to play Dodo.
Yeah, you got to get that farm on Nature's Prophet.
Nature's Prophet just sort of watching there. We're going to see Earthshaker be spot out here by the looks of it, and he's just going to enchant his totem. Right-click down a siege. Nope, not even bothered to push the lane. Yeah, he does get he uses it to deny, actually.
Yeah, he's not after the CS here. Center's got 8 and Tusker's got 3. But, you know, 28 on a Clockwork and 26 on a Lifestealer. The mid-game is... Honestly, It looks like it's going to fall apart for PH.
Clockwork has gone in on the Vengeful Spirit in the mid, who took a lot of damage. Clockwork using that hook in there, but he wasn't able to get the cogs off before Vengeful Spirit used her magic missile.
Yeah, nice reaction there from the stun, just to stop that. And Vengeful Spirit does have the good animation on the magic missile, so the mini stuns don't completely destroy her.
There's been an initiation on top as well, but it looks like there's been a counter initiation. Centaur Warrunner going in for the double stun, but not a very good idea for the stun. He does use his double edge on that Batrider before he goes down, however. Tusk is going to be running. He's going to be running. He takes a couple more hits. That's all it needs. One more. Is he going to burn out from that napalm? He's not going to. Very close to death. Rotations from Batrider helping them out there.
Yeah, very close to getting the double kill there, which would have been really good for them. There is Tranquil Boots on Batrider, so he does have that initiation speed, but it will slow down his Blink Dagger. Generally, you just get things like Brown Boots into Bottle, and then you just rush your Blink, but not farming the jungle and sort of looking after Naix and then rotating did slow him down a bit, so I would like to see him go into the jungle now. But he's got a Ring of Regen and 2 Iron Branches, so it looks like Batrider might be building the mech on this team.
Mech, or he could be going into a 4-staff. Iron Branches for the sheer number of spells that are going to be coming out, so you can build it into a wand. But I think you might be right on the mech. Yeah, he's gone for a headdress, so that's definitely the mech.
Very interesting there, but not having the blink is going to hurt him tremendously, and I think he might have actually misclicked and gone stats? 2 to all attributes, 1, yeah. He hit stats, so he's got 1 level in stats as well, which is going to hurt.
Well, There might be a good reason for that. There's been a clockwork hook in straight into that Tusk. Oh, there is going to be a save there by the Earthshaker. Not good enough. The Curse is going to finish him up. The Keeper of the Light's going to try to come in, but it looks like that's the only kills that they're going to get. Baby Dinosaur and Shades of Play, so they're going to just back off. Looks like they're really owning this lane. They're rotating their heroes because they know that this is a very, very strong offensive tri-lane, and they're rotating their heroes. It is 2-2 now. I'm not really sure what else they can do except for just shutting down this lane.
Yeah, it's just, I think, for the sheer fact that they picked this into sort of a cheesy thing where you've got, you know, the strongman lane. A lot of them are quite tanky. They're all strength heroes, and they all have stuns, but there's no ranged hero, so you can't really harass at all. So you've basically got to burst them down, and now that Silence is level 5, Keeper of the Light's level 4, they're in a lot better position in this lane, and even Nake's not doing too well up against this Nature's Prophet now. Does get the 1 level in Feast, finally, in top lane. Okay, Coddle's just going to get away. Batrider's actually coming and going onto the Earthshaker now. He's going to get the mini-stun out on Pixis on that Batrider. The Illuminate does miss, but the Curse of the Silent is on him, along with that last word. And he's going to get picked up off here again with another rotation from Batrider. And this is a Batrider with no blink, level 4, and no ultimate. And he's securing kills for his team.
I can't help but think that PhD are just playing a little overly aggressive here, and I understand that they really do need to get kills in this lane, but they're not getting kills, they're actually getting deaths, so they probably just need to back off a little bit on these plays here, play a little bit more defensively until they can get the combos off properly with that Tusk and Centaur Warrunner.
Yeah, and Curse of the Silence forcing them to cast pointless spells as well. Centaur, it's not a huge problem because you can just cast Double Edge, which costs no mana to take it off. I'm pretty sure it counts as a spell. I'm not 100% sure because I haven't seen him do it yet. Nature's Prophet actually getting the kill in mid, followed by with the ES and the Vengeful Stuns coming out and the Howl of Terror. So getting that done at mid as well. So they are returning the kills. The kills are even, but the experience and the gold. Actually, the gold is ahead for THS, but the experience of PhD. So very marginal leads though for each. So it's definitely quite even, but the mid game from a farmed Naix and a farmed Clockwork is going to be a bit scary.
Yeah, once they start getting up these items as well as farm on these heroes, it could definitely completely change the way for THS. Change the tide for THS. It looks like Earthshaker wants to go in onto this Lifestealer, and he does cancel his Fissure, but Lifestealer will just walk away.
Yeah, he's got that rage, so he's very hard to kill, and he has maxed it. So lasting for 6 seconds is they're gonna struggle to kill him at any point of this game, just because they don't do anything if he rages. There's 6 seconds where they can do nothing.
Very true, and it's basically a 6-second BKB throughout the entire game against PhD. Definitely a good pickup from all of that magic damage that's coming up. Windy Dinosaur, I think, is really interesting. He's gone for a Soul Ring and a Ring of Basilius, which you don't see very often. But a roaming Earthshaker with a Soul Ring, I think, an absolutely brilliant idea.
Yeah, I mean, Soul Ring definitely does work on the ES. It gives you that early mana, but it's not that much different. Because he's gone Brown Boots and a Soul Ring, he basically would have almost been to Mana Boots. He would have them now. So generally you get it if you're super poor. You don't think you'll ever get 1500 gold, but you can get 700. But he would have had it by now. So not really worth it, other than the fact that he's been able to utilize it a little bit earlier. But if he doesn't use it to its worth in the next minute or so, it's almost going to be a waste of gold.
Yeah, very true. And it's one of those rings, Soul Ring, that's only good in the late game for heroes that have a base regen. Looks like there's been an initiation with a Nake's Bomb. Adobe is going to try and TP out of there, and maybe he's going to succeed. He does succeed. Vengeful Spirit comes in to try and save. But THS are just going to chase him. The Batrider are just going to chase him. And Vengeful is just going to walk back. Maybe get saved by Windy Dinosaur, but just not good enough.
Yeah, now the rage to come up to stop that stun coming out from Windy Dinosaur. They do use the Stampede though to get him away. Surprising not used earlier for the rest of the team, as Centaur has been level 6 for a little while. But yeah, I mean, a good initiation by THS there. And we just saw the Lifestealer. He got swapped out, but it didn't stop him hitting through the cogs because he does have that a little bit of range. He's got 128, which is basically melee, but some melee heroes can hit over them and some can't, just because of what the hero box is.
And
that was just showing us exactly what that rage is going to do in this mid game.
Yeah.
You can't stop him.
And you see he has maxed the rage, whereas some lifestealers do like to take that feast in case they want to jump, hard carry lifestealers, so if they want to jump into the jungle, they can grab feast and they can grab open wounds, but he has gone for the rage, and rightly so, because it is going to make a huge difference against this team. Meanwhile, in the top lane, an Illuminate is going to come out to a Centaur Warrunner that no longer has any mana, and a Tusk that has already lost almost half his health, so it looks like they've really pushed this lane back.
Yeah, doing pretty well on their lanes now, THS. They're getting the levels that they sort of struggled to get very early on, and it's just this bottom lane that's not really working out too well for them, with the Naix getting the farm he wants. He's got treads and armlet, so a more old school kind of build. Rather than going for the phase, the drums, then the armlet, he's gone more the attack speed, and Batrider does get stunned up here, but he's got Firefly, so he'll just fly through. Straight over to the water if he wants, but he's actually going to go on. He grabs the Earthshaker now, running him through the Firefly. Needs to get another Napalm. Rage come up from the Naix, doing a lot of damage, along with the open wounds and the silence even to follow. So they're going to kill him there. I don't think they'll catch Adobe here. There's no open wounds for another 9 seconds, and a nice return kill. Clockwork, however, he wants this Nature's Prophet. He sees him. Is he just going to get the short range hook along with the mini stun? He doesn't have mana to cast the cogs though. Can he keep getting the mini stun on Adobe? Center actually runs out of range and leaves Adobe to die there. A stun, I think, would have helped a lot more than that Stampede because he couldn't move.
Yeah, I'm wondering what stopped Nature's Prophet's teleportation there.
Battery assault.
Oh, of course, yes. I don't know why I didn't even think of it. Yeah, of course, they're stopping that teleportation there, which means that they do get up the kill, and now it's 3-6. And if we look at the graphs, we see that it is now gone. XP has gone down 1,000, almost 1,500 down towards THS, as well as the gold graph saying 2,000 towards THS, and it's looking like it's just going to get worse in this mid game.
Yeah, the mid game is a lot stronger for THS. As we've said, you've got the silence, the Batrider, and Clockwork and Naix. The initiation from those two together is just going to be insane, and a lot of damage to come out from the Illuminate. The open wounds is going to come out, armlet toggled on, and Shades of Play has no way of surviving. Now Windy the Dinosaur actually coming in. He does get the stun off. Another Illuminate, one hit on this guy. The Infest doesn't quite reach him, but they do get the last hit off anyway from Keeper of the Light. Adobe is going to rotate around to the back.
And Naix already has his armlet. He's got his armlet, he's got his treads, he's got a magic stick that he will definitely be using, especially while he's enraged. All of those missed fishes are going to count towards his magic stick, and they're not going to deal damage. So this is really good play by THS, just absolutely squelching that top lane, and now dominating this bottom lane as well.
Yeah, and I actually just got an item drop from the other game. I just got a message, so oh yeah.
Oh, good on you. I haven't won.
Yeah, you got nothing.
I haven't won a single item here. It looks like there was a swap. Terrible swap to swap out the life stealer. Of course, he does rage. Cog's going to come in to finish off the vengeful spirit. There's going to be a punch down to take down the attempted take down the Clockwork, but instead they turn right around. Hivaga getting that ultra kill, and it looks like he's looking towards that Nature's Prophet. He's looking at him. He wants to be able to go get him. Is he going to be able to go get him? He's not going to be able to go get him. Oh, that battery assault coming just a bit too late. Almost getting an early rampage there. Absolutely good turnaround by PhD.
Yeah, almost getting that done.
No, wait, by THS. Sorry about that. Sorry, go on.
Almost getting that rampage, but I think Naix probably would have taken the kill there just to deny the rampage, because that's what you do to your allies. You don't let them get rampages. But this is exactly what we're saying. The mid-game dominance from THS is just insane in this game, and already another 2,100 gold on this Naix after treads and armlet. He's doing pretty well for himself, being on an offlane. He doesn't have the best last hit, sitting on the highest GPM in the game though. And the highest net worth by about 500 over his own Clockwork. So having the two top And Nature's Prophet is the only one really anywhere near almost the whole team, other than Keeper of the Light, who's just being a Keeper of the Light and being poor.
Yeah.
And look at this, we've got the pipe actually coming out from Batrider, not a mech. So taking your advice on that one and getting the pipe, and the mech's already up on the clockwork as well. So it's just going to give them such a better team fight. They're going to have the heal and the magic absorb, and Vengeful Spirit doesn't even have the mech yet, and she was mid.
Yeah, no, very true. She is quite close to that mid, but she has been buying wards as well in the mid, which is not uncommon, to be fair. There has been an infestation. There's going to be a Cogs. Just that combo is going to cause a lot of damage. They're going to go down. 3 down already. They've picked out the Centaur War Runner there. All they need is a few more right clicks onto this Centaur War Runner that does use his ult to try and fly out. Couple more tower hits. Flame Break is going to push him out. They're going to get that kill. That's 4 kills already. THS 16-3 in this mid lane with that brilliant combo Clockwork and Nake's Lifestealer.
Yeah, your microphone actually went really low volume once you started to get hype. I'm not sure what happened there, but it sort of just cut out. It couldn't handle your like volume or something.
It's probably the audio codec trying to level out the volume on there and overdoing it a little bit because of my overhype there. So sorry about that.
Yeah, it could be Skype could be on auto adjust as well. That generally screws up casting pretty bad, but Shivka is going to go a bit forward just to pop that illusion rune. He does have the hook up again. He could go in for Windy Dinosaur, but it's diving pretty deep at the moment. I don't think you want to do that just quite yet. He's only 1500 away from his Argonauts. They can play the farming game for a little while. Silencer, almost sitting on his Force Staff. The pipe is done on this Batrider, just has to send it out. And the Hyperstone now picked up for Lifestealer. And this Lifestealer's not going for mobility, as we saw earlier with the treads and the armlet pickup, and he actually has a plate mail as well. And he can just go for pure damage because he's got a clockwork to take him in, and Batrider will most definitely pick up a blink neck. I don't see why he wouldn't, unless he just grabs a Force Staff to help the team more, but because he's already going a bit of an odd build, and he actually picks up a Void Stone, so maybe going for a Yules.
Yeah, well, he's been doing more than well enough without taking a blink, without taking any of these weapons that you'd normally get. Centaur War Runner comes in from behind. Terrible idea. He's going to be right-clicked down by the Lifestealer, and then they're going to be attempted to initiate onto this Vengeful Spirit. No, on the other side, there is going to be a dominating there as they pick out the Tuskar. This Firefly doing a lot of damage.
Yeah, it's just getting a bit too deep there, and this PhD squad has got to be more careful against this team, and Windy Dinosaur really far up on very low health. He might actually die from just a curse. He needs to cast the totem, but he's not going to, and he's going to fall. Silencer taking a lot of damage from that Nature's Prophet ulti and this tower, so he needs to get out of here. He's going to survive on 124 health after using his wand, so maybe wanting to go back. Shivka wasn't there pretty much that whole fight either. He was pushing in mid lane to try and take the attention of some of the team, but no one was taking it, and no one really wants to fight this Clockwork 1v1 at the moment, you know. He's got the max out battery assault, he's got level 2 hook and a mech and almost a full Argonauts already.
Yeah, he's going to go for that Argonauts, and it means that he's just going to be able to spam that hook shot, which is exactly what he wants to do, because he's been getting them very, very nicely, especially with these Nake's bombs. It's interesting, I've seen 3 very, very different games coming out of THS. Their first game going very close to 60-minute match, which they unfortunately scraped out the loss in. They unfortunately just lost that game. Their second game, this basically what happened in the last game, but against THS when they were playing the esports, MTS esports.
Yeah, MTS Esports.
Yeah, MTS Esports. And now they're doing the same thing to Furious, which I think is really interesting. In the mid, Hivaga is here, and he is looking at this Vengeful Spirit, and he is going to cogs in this Vengeful Spirit, and that is almost certainly going to be the death of the Vengeful Spirit. That should just turn around and try and fight him while the cogs are up. There's been a huge hook down onto the Earthshaker. He doesn't have the cogs, though. He might actually get right-click down. Echo Slam popped by the Earthshaker, and now they're just going to move in. They just walk into this War Runner, Centaur War Runner stomp. Meanwhile, Silencer is actually trapped in here, so that's a couple of kills going for PhD. A couple of, frankly, pretty stupid kills going for PhD. There has been a Nake's bomb here inside the Batrider that's still getting into the middle of the team fight without a Blink Dagger. Are they going to back off? Have they overstayed their welcome? It's 1 for 2. And
Yeah, I would say back off there. The Clockwork dive way too deep. The battery assault kept hitting the 2 creeps rather than the Vengeful Spirit, so wasn't really doing much damage there at all. And then that hook hitting that ES was just the end of him. There was just too many heroes there going in too quickly, and he is slowed down a little bit. He's still only 250 away from his Arcanums anyway, so not a huge deal to the Clockwork, but giving away kills that they don't need to against PhD. You really don't want to let someone back into a game after dominating this hard, and the Assault Curious picked up for this lifestealer now, and he's going to be insanely hard for them to kill.
Yeah, no, very true. If they can get a good bout of magic damage, if they can start up maybe with the Vengeful Spirit stun before he rages and focus him down, they might have enough magic damage to take him down and remove him from the team fight. But then you've got the Bat Rider to deal with, then you've got the Silencer's right clicks, then you've got the Illuminate by Keeper of the Light. You've got Clockwork. Clockwork is soloing some of these heroes.
Yeah, Clockwork can pretty much kill Vengeful and Furion if they're on their own with no creeps anytime he wants. Even the ES, because ES can't actually cast any spells when Clockwork is hitting him with the Battery Assault solo. Except I'm pretty sure he can cast Echo Slam because it's almost instant, but I'm not quite sure if he can get it off.
And now they're going to push down this top tower. I'm pretty sure they're going to be completely uncontested. They do fortify though, they push this creep wave back. It's not going to make much of a difference though, they're just going to wait for the next creep wave and continue pushing it.
Yeah, they're just going to go for these slower sieges, and they've got the -5 armor on the tower from the assault, so that'll be helping them out a little. And then a little bit caught out on that Nax on the other side of that, but he should be fine. He's just going to regen up a bit of his health. The mana boots start to pop as well, and he can just jump in the Clockwork here, and Shivka is the initiation, and if he gets a hook off, this could be terrible for PhD.
Yeah, they're just waiting for that opportune moment for Hivaga to come in here. He might be able to see that Vengeful, but it looks like they're not going to go in. It looks like they don't have quite the potential to go in just
they're waiting
yet.
for the Arcanums and waiting for the next creep wave. So this will be their moment. The Vengeful Spirit does have the mech though, so that should help them out a bit. Pixis a little bit caught in these ice shards, but Creep's going to take it, and there's the initiation we wanted. Willow is going to swap out though, and nice block in with those cogs, and the ES stun. Vengeful uses that mech to keep herself alive. Shades of Play is going to fall here though. And swapping your Centaur for your VS, which is basically what happened, maybe not the best idea, but you know, got to survive, and nice rage dodge on that stun. Willow now in a lot of trouble, is going to fall. ES is going to get chased down here. They look like they're just going to back out and take that Rax.
Yeah,
They don't need to dive it.
Yeah, from now on, I'm looking at the GG call, because at 14,000 experience and at 15,000 gold, I can't see how they're going to bring this back.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult for them. Luckily, they've still got tier 2s up, so these guys basically just going to back out and push bottom lane, push mid lane, maybe even just go into a quick Roshan. Put that on the Nax and you basically got no worries. Even putting it on the Clockwork would be good, because he is your initiation, and the hookshot is very low cooldown, being only 12 seconds with an Arcanums.
Yeah, that 12-second hookshot basically means that you can use it twice, even 3 times in a team fight, just to stun your enemies. You can use it at close range, just to use it as a sort of mini stun, because it is a 2-second stun at max, which can make a big difference in plays.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really used for the stun, but as you said, 2 seconds is still 2 seconds of free stun, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It just holds in there really to get the cogs off. And even the Nax can just pop out and get the open wounds going and get a couple hits in for free. And he's going to be getting the basher as well, so if you put that 2-second stun on with a bash as the 2 seconds is running out, it's going to be a bit difficult. And Pixis now, he's split pushing these lanes, he's building his Lincolns, and we see here the hookshot go off, but he's just catching up. He's got so much mana, so little cooldown, sorry. Doesn't have that much mana, but there are mana boots on the team. And the Atos picked up on Hazy now.
Oh, I thought that was a very cute little play by Hivaga there, just hooking onto the Nax just to catch up, which I don't think I've ever seen before in my life, so that was good.
Yeah, you could use it to get around the map a bit quicker. Generally, you don't at this point of the game, because you don't actually have the mana pool to sustain doing that. When you pick up like a Shiva's Guard or a Hex or something, you can do it, but PhD know this is happening by the looks of their movements, but they just can't get there in time. And the mech's going to be popped to get them full health. The Basher is at base with an axe coming out. Hookshot to fly, just a hopeful with a bit of vision from that ward, but no luck there. And he's not going to be too upset other than the fact that he's got no mana now, so he needs a chakra, but Coddle's like, no chakra for you, and uses it on himself.
And the other gives his mana boots. Good enough, I guess.
Maybe the next chakra.
Yeah, now they're just going to push out this bottom lane, and once again, I can't see it being contested. Immediate start there by Keeper of the Light, although I think he's timed this really perfectly. That wave's going to go through all of those creeps, and they're just going to take down this tower. This tower is simply going to melt. Aiden there, being Ice Shards, there's been an initiation by the Clockwork there. He's going to go in onto this Tusk. He's going to try and shoot down the cogs, but he is going to be picked up by the Bat Rider, who's going to push him through the Fissure there. Are they going to get the kill? They do finally get the kill. And then they just continue pushing.
Yeah, they actually had to blow a lot for that Tuskar kill, but they did bait out the Stampede as well. So definitely fine with it. Swap gonna come in from the Vengeful Spirit. Might have just killed herself though. And Shivka is gonna chase Adobe, running into a few too many heroes though. A lot of lockdown on this back lane, but the team's just gonna say, alright Clockwork, you play around with them and we'll kill their base. Hazy is here now, dishing out a lot of damage with these Guys of Wisdom, and he's gonna get the double kill here and clean those two up. The tower has gone down, and this is another X, and this game's basically over. And the PhD do call the GG.
There's the GG call from the insane right click that Silencer now has at this point of the game. Very well played to THS, 27-7, a complete turnaround from their last game against NTS Esports. And I've seen PhD, and I thought they definitely had a better game in them, but let's see how they do in future games.
Yeah, they did struggle in this. They sort of picked one of those really cheesy pub strats, and it just didn't work. So congrats to THS for taking this game. I believe that's their first win of the day. So it always feels good, and they could bring up the team morale quite a lot and help them play a bit better during the day. But we will be back at some point with the next game.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll be casting all day, every hour until about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock ish. You have been joined. No, wait. I have been joined by Daredevil Dan from Daredevil Dota. Get onto his Twitch. It's twitch.tv/Daredevil Dota. I don't think you're going to be doing any casting today, but keep up on his Twitter, Daredevil Dota.
Yeah, I say a lot of things.
Guys, join me for my next stream. It'll probably be very soon. Thank you very much for joining me, Dan.
Yeah, no worries.